My name is Tiffany, and welcome to my channel, Foxey Sunrise. Today we're back with another pick a card reading, and today I wanted to talk about dreams. I had one in mind, but I wasn't really vibing with it anymore. I think the time frame of it just kind of expired. So, I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning after having this really fascinating dream. In the past month or so, maybe longer, I've been having consistently very healing and just symbolic and sometimes intense dreams. So I would have recorded this earlier at 4 a.m., but I guess I wasn't feeling that ballsy. So this is what I have for y'all today. And I'm going to put it in the description box as well, but I wanted to express that the title says what your dreams are trying to tell you. And when we work with these different questions and we're working with the tarot, it's not always going to be what we think is like the question that we ask isn't always going to be answered in the way that we think. At least that's what I've learned. So when we look at a question, we need to observe it from many different angles. So when we ask something like, what are our dreams trying to tell us, we have to look at it in a non-linear black and white way. So some might assume, oh, she's talking about my dreams at night, but not everybody is a vivid night dreamer. Some people have vivid daydreams. I experience both. So you can look at this as, what are my night dreams trying to tell me? You can also look at this as maybe you're getting nudges from certain goals or tasks that you're being pulled towards that will lead to the materialization or the further nurturance of goals and dreams and manifestations that you're trying to plant. So this could also be a question of, what are these nudges or what are these goals asking of me? What do they need me to step forward and embody? What actions do they want me to take? So I just wanted to put that out there, and yeah, let's get started. So we have 3 groups today. Group 1 is cornered. Group 2 is patience. And group 3 is nurture. So like always, all the timestamps will be down below in the description box, as well as any information about me, like socials and other offerings that I have. So thanks for stopping by, as always, and I'll see you at your pile. What's up, group 1? This is your reading about what your dreams are trying to tell you. Okay, so I pre-shuffled the cards for time purposes, so that's why I did it this way. I usually shuffle on my other videos. I try to do that all the time, but it takes a little bit longer. So okay. Oh, damn it. Okay, just in case I need to read. So wow, this one feels close to home. So group 1, there is a hesitation in moving towards your dreams. There may be a lot of different things asked of you for you to embody the person who manifests these goals and dreams. So for some of you who are having night dreams, who are vivid night dreamers, you may be having dreams surrounding feeling out of control, feeling disempowered, feeling trapped. Maybe you're being, I'm getting this flashback of a dream I had of being kidnapped and it replaying in a cycle in a dream that I had. So, or even a dream like feeling disempowered. So maybe you're having dreams of a person of interest cheating on you or picking somebody over you, which is so interesting because with the supreme protection, you are protected, cords are being cut, move beyond limitation, trust. There could be a desire surrounding relationship, and you may be getting some insight or feedback in your dreams surrounding a current relationship that might not be working. Maybe you're out of contact, you're in separation, and there's not a lot of movement going on. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense with this pile. So the center of this reading is the self-love card, number 6. And number 6 in numerology is representative of bringing balance and harmony. So there's this emphasis of feeling out of control, feeling inertia. I'm using that word because yesterday I dove into the gene keys, which I'm very ignorant to, but it's a really interesting modality. But inertia is a shadow aspect of one of the keys in the gene keys. It's essentially I don't know if you could say a divinatory practice, but it's just a very intensified personality test, if you will, for in layman's terms. But this feels like there's a lack of control in general, and it's due to a sense of self-neglect, a sense of self-betrayal. And this can come in minor ways and subtle ways, and this could be expressed in bigger ways as well. So maybe a larger example would be dating people or being in friendships and relationships and partnerships, or even jobs that are toxic, that are abusive, that are detrimental to the body, that puts you in a heightened state of anxiety and stress, keeps you in a state of insomnia or having these dreams where you feel disempowered, where you're having constant dreams and paranoia of being betrayed, or of harassment at your job, for example, or feeling as though you can't move in an authentic way, you can't express yourself in an authentic way, feeling silenced, feeling trapped, feeling claustrophobic energetically, feeling as though you can't be yourself. But the question for you is, how are you getting into these positions? Because everything is a choice. So right now we're becoming more aware consciously of the issue, and the issue is giving your power away. So your dream is trying to tell you and really challenge you, which is Mars energy. It can be very challenging, and it can be a healthy challenge. It can be a triggering challenge. And so there's a need to feel comfortable in and become familiar with these shadow aspects of being assertive versus passive, of being nice versus kind, which comes up for me. I was working with a coach, and he brought up the example of kind versus nice. Nice is really keeping up with appearances. It's the embodiment of doing something because it looks good and you aren't going to ruffle any feathers, versus being kind, which is coming from a more genuine place. And rejecting someone, which can be triggering, as I'm pointing out some examples from this Mars card here. Rejecting someone can be very triggering, and if you're an empathetic person, which this group may be, very soft, very aware of their environment, of societal norms, of the vibe of a room. So I'm getting strong Libra energy. So I do have in the description box underneath the timestamps, I have a link to a birth chart calculator if you're interested in diving into that modality. If you have your time of birth, amazing, because you'll get the most descriptive delineation of your birth chart. But I'm going to call out, after giving that disclaimer, I'm going to call out some signs. I do that very frequently, especially because it comes up strong when I use these astrology cards. So one placement I'm getting is Mars in Libra. Another placement I'm getting is Mars in Cancer. I'm also getting Mars in Pisces. And the houses that Mars may fall in for some of you as well is Mars in the 4th, Mars in the 12th house I'm getting as well, and possibly Mars in the 7th, because with Mars in the 7th you may be attracting people who are dominating over you. So maybe you attract people who are overly assertive, who are kind of aggressive, people showing up in your life who are challenging you to speak up for yourself, challenging you to fight, be the warrior for yourself, be the advocate for yourself. So I know that happened to me, which is why I feel like this reading hits close to home. Pile 1. This happened to me a lot because I attract a lot of friends and authority figures who were challenging, who are triggering. And these words are neutral, so some of them pushed me to places that I wouldn't have ever been pushed had I not had that person in my life. So they were really showing me what was possible for me. So another thing that's coming to me as well is this group may have a habit of projecting their own authority on other people. So maybe you have a friend who is very assertive, who is a go-getter, who always expresses themselves, who isn't afraid to be a bitch or an asshole when it's necessary. Even if it's unnecessary, if they just want to make a point, they're not afraid to do that. And so you see this and you think that you think that that's an expression that is only specific to them, which disempowers you and pushes that ability to embody that fieriness. It pushes it away from you further by just assuming that only it's some specific genetic code that you have to be somebody who stands up for themselves. Because a lot of times, and I'm getting that with this group too, there could be something that may have happened in a habitual pattern that has trained us to be submissive and subservient. So this may not even be something that is natural for you, and that's something to dive into. I feel like it reminds me of this discussion I had with my friend and her boyfriend, and they were talking about people who attach to certain labels, like being an introvert or being an extrovert. Because of the attachment to the label, it boxes you in. So it becomes harder to be a dynamic person when you only see yourself and believe yourself to be one thing, such as, i.e., an introvert. So there's a need to stretch yourself, to challenge yourself, challenge your inner world, your beliefs. And when you love yourself, you allow yourself to speak and express. You allow yourself to not debate or compromise who you authentically are. That's not going to be a compromise. It's going to be accepted, or it's not going to be accepted. So yeah, with the green Tara here, the cords being cut really, really sticks out to me. So I feel like specifically here, there's a lot of relationship energy, relationship patterns around giving your power away, letting people walk all over you, and thinking that that is a form of love, when it's sexier to be someone with boundaries. Boundaries are sexier than somebody who isn't is flat, is 2D. A 2D person, or even a one-dimensional person. Imagine I don't know where I got this from. I watch so many different things because I'm attracted to different types of information. I want to say it was from some alpha male. I don't know. I feel like I know it pertained to femininity. I want to say it was a feminine channel. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But I'm thinking of somebody who is only one way. You're only nice, you're only nurturing, you're only this person because you're scared to be anything else, because you're afraid of rejection, you're afraid of somebody not liking it, you're afraid of having some pushback. But what keeps somebody interested, what keeps somebody around, is being authentic. And the authentic person that you are, that most people are, is very dynamic. They're not just one way. There's many, I'm using genders here, there's many women in the one woman. There's many goddesses in the one woman. So one woman has many angles. So you may be fiery at some points and creative and sexual. You may be emotional. It's important to express all of these versions and faces and expressions of who you are. That is exciting. It's sexy. And I don't like using those words because those words and those adjectives to me are a little bit more superficial and fleeting. But there's just something magnetic and attractive about somebody who can be many things at once in a healthy way. Play with that a little bit. Just play with the idea of that. Because it'll be impossible, maybe not, to meet every single person on this planet. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a difficult thing, but I'd like to believe that everyone is many things at once. They aren't just one particular thing. They have many sides to them, many versions, many colors to their soul, to their personality. And when you decide to just corner yourself into a box, to just allow yourself to be a one-dimensional person with one way of expressing yourself, with one way of being, that cannot be authentic. There's nothing authentic about that. And so it's important, especially if you have these relationships around you that you're sustaining, that you're giving your energy to. If you're in separation and this person is limiting to you, if they are distracting you from getting to know these versions and sides and dimensions of yourself, because you're obsessing over their validation, you're obsessing over what they're thinking about, or if, you continue to entertain friendships, relationships, or even family ships that keep you cornered and bound and confined and boxed into a role that is one-dimensional, that is claustrophobic because it doesn't allow you to be all things, those cords should be cut. Those relationships should be assessed and analyzed. If it's salvageable, or if it just needs to be let go. Because you come first. We'll let that one go. What? This pile one's dreams trying to tell them. Wow. We'll go ahead and pick this one too. So, yeah, there is an attraction to possibly emotionally unavailable, emotionally erratic people, maybe manipulative, narcissistic people, or people who are energetic vampires, people who may be needy and codependent. You may also portray some of these traits as well. So this could also, I'm seeing somebody who constantly needs advice, who's also seeking, oh, look at the geese. They're having a meeting, I guess. Someone who's constantly seeking reassurance for their own thoughts, which again is disempowering. So there's a need to really examine all the ways, all the aspects, all the corners, and areas of life where you give your power away, where you don't show up as your full self. So there's a blocking of your abundance. There's a blocking of nurturing your gifts, your abilities. There's a blocking of your value in its full potential being expressed due to you disempowering yourself. And disempowering yourself bleeds into not following your intuition, which this pile has been getting a lot of nudges. You are a very intuitive pile, but the more that you ignore your inner guidance, wisdom, and instincts, which starts with, I want to throw that out there too, especially because relationship keeps coming up here. It starts with recognizing and acknowledging the red flags that you see. That is intuition 101. Is, hey, I don't know about this person. I don't know about this relationship. This friendship seems a little uneven. But I'm going to continue on with it. I don't want to be, I've known this person for years. I don't want to push them away, or this person that I'm with, I know they have a bad past, like they didn't have their parents around, or I know my friend's going through a lot, or I know my dog, like he's just two. He's gonna be hyper and jump all over people. It's fine. When in all of these examples, one, you're the dog one's a little funny. It's lighter because it's like giving your dog leeway to act like a jackass when it needs to be trained. And you know this, but you don't want to be mean to the dog. You don't want to hit the dog. You don't want to discipline it because, you don't want to hurt its feelings, but it's a dog. It's a dog. It's a dog. It's a person who's an asshole. It's a person who is responsible for their own well-being. It's a relationship that is draining you. This is a bad habit. You know what to do, when asking for other people's advice. These are all examples, but whenever you're disempowering yourself, you're turning off your intuition, you're not listening to yourself. You're allowing other people to make decisions for you. When you think about it, you're the only one walking around with yourself. So how can someone make a decision that's best for you when they haven't lived your life? That's completely ridiculous, and it's not fair to the other person too, especially if you're relying on one particular person to make all the decisions for you. That is just not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair to you, it's not fair to anyone else. So there's really a need to tap into this masculine energy. This masculine energy that is blunt, that tells you what you need to hear. that is very direct. And it'll be a practice at first, but I feel this group could very well benefit from deep diving into shadow work, into their, quote, dark side. And the dark side isn't always negative. It can just be parts of ourselves that we feel isn't very pretty or nice or likable. I feel, and again, like, I definitely resonate with this group for sure. I feel that as you decide to express yourself authentically and enjoy doing it, as you decide to explore different sides of yourself, and this includes exploring parts and experiences and memories where you were disliked, because I'm sure you weren't nice all the time. There are points in our lives where we've hurt people, where we've been that bitch, where we've been selfish. You know, look at those memories and take from it information that is objective and neutral, versus feeling guilty and blaming yourself and then hiding away that part of you that can be helpful at certain points and in certain situations and scenarios. So shadow work is definitely a healing practice and realm for y'all. So diving into your sexuality, your inner bitch or asshole, your sort of assertive, aggressive, fiery, masculine side. I really have a theory that, and I'm still diving into it, but I have this hunch that the dark goddess or the dark feminine energy, the energy that people label as dark, is really the polarity of being a woman, which is a woman who is also able to embody her masculine energy. So a woman who is seen as a bitch is a woman who is just portraying assertiveness, which is seen as a masculine trait. A woman who knows what she wants and is very blunt is, again, like mean or something. A woman who is very sexually expressive is a whore or something like that. But then we turn and look at it in a different clothing and a different skin suit, and it's a man, and it's seen more as a masculine trait. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so there's a need to explore this dark side, and this dark side may also align and parallel with you exploring your more masculine traits and your more masculine side. So moving your body more may help. Moving your body, getting into maybe a martial arts, I don't know, a sexual, maybe like flow art, so like pole dancing, aerial silks, things like that. If you're into flow arts, which I am, flow arts with fire, so energizing. You feel like a badass. So just doing things that make you feel like a badass, and it may be none of the examples that I named, but what makes you feel like a badass when you wake up? When I wake up and I start with an ab workout, I feel, oh my gosh, I feel so connected to my confidence. It like energizes my solar plexus chakra. So yeah, group 1, that is your reading. I feel like I kind of went in on y'all, but I think like it just emphasizes the energy that is being asked of you. I also want to mention, because it's coming up now before I sign off, is I feel that you are being pushed into leadership, or there's an importance of you finding your sovereignty, your voice, and your assertiveness, and somehow it'll connect you closer to your dreams and goals or manifestations. So maybe what you want to manifest, the way you're showing up, is in disharmony and is not in alignment with who you are right now. What did I say? Who you are showing up as is out of alignment with what you're trying to manifest or what your goals are. Or if this is just showing up in your night dreams, you are being asked to shed this part of yourself, which again I feel can lead back into what your vocation and your purpose might be asking of you, to shed this version of yourself. Like for whatever reason, whether it's dreams, whether like whatever, self-development, whatever, you're being asked to grow out of this and step up fiercely. So group 1, that is your reading. That was so fun. I'm really enjoying this. That is your reading for what your dreams are trying to tell you. Let me know what stuck out for you in the comments section, or just say hello, whatever. Thank you for stopping by. I had a good time with y'all. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more readings like this one, and I can't wait to see you again. Hello, group 2. This is your reading. Excuse me. This is your reading about what your dreams are trying to tell you. So I pre-shuffled the piles because I didn't want this reading to be that long. So that's why I did that, but I will be shuffling tarot for you guys. Interesting. Kind of want to read Stormfields, but I also want to intuit it. I'm just gonna sneak peek at it. I feel like it's cheating when I read the book, but it's fine. This too shall pass. An uncomfortable chaos is surrounding you. Wow. That's crazy. This is like screaming a transit that's happening currently and will be happening until about 2026. So if you're into astrology, it's a collective energy, so it affects everybody. I don't know. I'm not getting like a specific house in your birth chart that this might be affecting yet. But I'm getting that the Uranus and Taurus transit, or the Saturn and Aquarius transit, maybe you're having your Saturn return right now. But the collective transit is very much affecting you. It's asking you to, like, I feel that there's a breakdown. I read the first sentence. Pent-up energy needs release, just as a storm in nature must break for these events to occur. When the electricity between opposing forces stirs things up and creates temporary disorder, not all storms are destructive. Okay, wow, that is... I'm glad I read that. Wow, that is... I kind of want to finish reading it. Oh my gosh. That gave me chills. Just give me a second. I'm just going to skim this real quick. Just remember that whatever is being stirred up inside you or between you and another will benefit you later. The sun will shine again and new growth will be observed. Don't be afraid to shake things up a little. Okay, yes. So with this, there feels... Okay, we're talking about dreams. What are your dreams trying to tell you? 1, it's time to come out of the closet. whether it's a broom closet or just it's time to share yourself, what you enjoy. There's a breakdown. I'm getting brought to the 10th house in the astrology chart. So maybe you have Taurus in the 10th house, which is your career house. I'm getting a sense of an altering of your career path, and your gifts and abilities being called to be shared, and that has to do with something with your career. Also hiding yourself. You're being asked not to hide yourself anymore, and there's a breaking down of how you have shown up when it comes to your interests. I really strongly feel like this group has hidden their interests, hidden what they like to do. Like the reason I feel like there's been a stagnancy when it comes to some sort of development. I'm getting specifically around career. So I did mention the 10th house in astrology. If you are interested in your birth chart, there is a link under the timestamps. And if you have your time of birth, even better, because you get a specific analysis and delineation of your birth chart. So when I say 10th house, it'll be accurate and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. But there seems to be a tower moment happening based on your beliefs of what you could do for work, or your beliefs around hiding yourself, your gifts, your interests, what you want to do. Maybe you have a kink with the pleasure card here. Maybe there's some kind of kink that also connects to your career, or what you want to do, what you actually want to do, like what your purpose might be connected to sexuality of some sort, sharing your sexuality. Yeah, there's something like very quirky and queer and kinky about this this group. It's really interesting. I've never gotten I don't really get sexual messages often. But why not? Yeah, there's a need to, when you're coming out and sharing these things, to be patient, especially if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, or lead in a new field, or there's something very unorthodox about this. So one I want to say is to take your time, because there's going to be a lot of different storms that you'll be met with as you're coming out and sharing these gifts, sharing these interests, sharing these things that you're passionate about, that brings you pleasure, sharing the pleasures and joys. And there's a way in which you are combining, finally, your pleasure with your career. I don't know why career is coming up so strongly with this group, but maybe because share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. Yes, you're sharing from your heart versus your mind, which I feel is why Aquarius is in reverse here. There's this sort of intuitive, natural way that you're being asked to share your authenticity, your weirdness, your quirks, your kinks, your freak, letting your freak flag fly instead of hiding it. And again, grace comes up here, and I'm being brought to patience here when I think of grace. Again, this journey is going to bring a lot of breakdowns and changes and shifts, because you're showing up in a different way, and all of the old ways that you have been showing up are going to be destroyed. So that includes many aspects of your life that you've shown up and hid yourself. So this could be a change in friends, a change in where you hang out, a change in your schedule, because now you're creating things, or now you're wanting to start this business, which is a very spiritual journey of its own, being an entrepreneur, being someone who wants to come out and share their gifts in a more public way. It takes a lot of work. And I'm getting the Pentacles cards in the tarot, which is when we're predicting time, it is the slowest as far as time prediction in the tarot out of all of the suits. So this may take months at a time. It could take a year or more to kind of really embody this new way of expressing yourself, especially if you have a lot of cycles to become aware of and also let go of, or patterns of thinking. There's a lot to this that is going to take some time. I also am wanting to encourage you to get some assistance in some way, whether it's a coach or a community. Finding a community. That's really important with Aquarius as well. Finding a community of like-minded individuals so that they can really assist you in possibly bypassing some growing pains, or even continuously feeding your fuel to continue on this path of coming out of hiding. There's a release. When I see this pleasure card, I think of an orgasm. I think of a release of the soul, of something that's so natural and pure and very primal and innate. I'm thinking of the beginning of life here as well when I'm imagining the orgasm. And we have 2 number 9s here, which are very spiritual numbers. So the other thing with the number 9 too is it can symbolize, oh wow, yeah, it can symbolize a journey that might be solo at times. I wanted to say lonely, but that's not the word that I want to use. We're not using that word. It could be a journey in solitude, of introspection, of hermiting the self, examination. So there's sort of an incubation period too, before, during, after, during you coming into and deciding to embody this more authentic way of expressing yourself. So your dreams are asking of you to be patient and to not push or rush this new birthing process of this new way of showing up. And to find joy, to always find joy in this process. And the moon here is waning. There is a waning of the moon. The moon phase is waning, so there is a movement towards newness, towards a blank slate, towards the dark moon, which to me also symbolizes a death of the ego, a death of oldness, of an old cycle. I'm also getting like dark night of the soul, ego death, a mourning process of the ending of something, which number 9 also symbolizes in the tarot, is moving towards the culmination of something, the ending of a cycle, the ending of repressing what pleases you, repressing your joys, repressing what excites you, and inviting these moments of breakdown, inviting these moments of destruction of the old. And this all, throughout this process, you don't have to stop and go unless you're called to. But all of this can be happening as you're sharing your gifts, as you're sharing your talents, as you're sharing your interests, as you're building your business, whatever you're doing. But it feels like you're starting something and you're coming out of hiding. The other thing too with the new moon and moving into the waning of the lessening of the new moon is going into darkness. So shadow work is so interesting. Shadow work has come up with the last group too. So there's a need to assess certain things so that you can, I'm getting like Pac-Man, where you're eating all of like the candies, the little like light balls. You want to be able to digest all of the lessons, like Pac-Man, digest all of the lessons of these memories, experiences, so you don't have to repeat them again, so you don't fall back into the cycle of hiding again. So asking yourself, why is this happening? Which again, like all of this is a process. All of this is a process to be patient. But you also need to allow yourself to continue to share through the process. You don't have to wait till you're done doing all of this to share yourself. You can share yourself in the middle of it. Wow, okay. This person in 9 of Wands is on guard. There's no reason to be so defensive anymore with yourself, with your abilities, with your gifts, with your dreams, with what you want to do. You cannot want a dream and hide yourself because you're a part of the dream. You're a part of these gifts that you're trying to share. I don't know if you're trying to manifest a business or recognition, possibly. But you can't, and this is an example, this might be relatable, I feel like it's relevant. You can't wish for recognition and hide yourself. You can't wish for recognition and be afraid to share yourself. So before you can get this manifestation, there's some backtracking. There's like a retrograde that needs to happen. I don't know what's in retrograde right now. I think Neptune is in retrograde, which has a lot to do with our dreams. So before we can step into our dreams, there's a need to reassess how we're deluding ourselves, how we're being delusional to reaching our dreams. So being more realistic with the steps that we need to take to embody the person who has that goal, that manifestation, that dream. So there's a release. There's a transformation. There's butterflies here. There's a release of the soul, of the light within yourself. There's a need to show up authentically, to not be so defensive. It's more energy used on hiding yourself, on being defensive, on being somebody that you're not, on showing up inauthentically. There's so much burnout that can come from that versus the ease of being yourself, which, yes, there is a different sort of difficulty and a challenge with that. And when I say challenge, I'm getting the image of someone who is going on this like really intense hike up a very steep mountain. But then once you get to the top, oh my gosh, the view. And then the view on the journey to the top, it's so worth it. It's worth it. So, yeah. Anyways, let me get what our group twos, what are group Drews, who's Drew, what are group two's dreams trying to tell them? Messages for group 2 about their dreams. Messages for group 2. Oh my gosh, my nose is so itchy. Messages for group 2 about their dreams. Okay, there's a lot of fire energy here, so there's a need for movement. Again, there's the patience, the grace, the planning with the Two of Wands here. The really assessing your environment, what your desires are, what you want to do, having almost a game plan. And it doesn't have to be strict. Oh wow, and the King of Wands. Yes, asserting the self, being who you are. And Seven of Pentacles. And we have, that is so crazy. That's so interesting. There's a consistent trend so far with the last reading and this reading of turning off the intuition and blocking the intuition. And this is for a different reason. So because you aren't showing up authentically and you're hiding yourself, your intuition and your instincts and your beautiful insight and wisdom. So some of you may be occultists, or you may be into spirituality of some sort. Obviously you're here, so you're open to it. But that, like I was saying at the beginning of the reading, some of you may be in the broom closet. So yeah, there's no need to just be intuitive with your spiritual friends. Be intuitive all the time, because there's a power with that. Like, for example, for me, like when I'm in my readings, when I'm doing readings for people, I'm so blunt, I'm so to the point, because it feels like I'm in a costume, but then I'm like pushing that part of me away and making and disidentifying with it. When it is me, it's still a part of me that I can share and make use of in my daily life, because this part of me is connected with myself and my interest in God and my spiritual team and what have you. And this part of me also expresses herself better. She communicates better and clearly. She knows what to say without overthinking it. Like right now, I'm enjoying myself. I don't feel like I have to really think so hard about what I'm going to say, unless I want to be concise about it. But yeah, there's a need to merge and integrate these many aspects of yourself and not separate it like you have some double triple life. It's important to recognize if you're showing up in a very scattered and dispersed way, because in that way you're fragmenting your soul, and your soul wants to be in union with itself. So if there's many aspects of yourself that you're hiding, it's a detriment to you to do that. You need to integrate all of you and show up as all of you. Now, it's okay to be private, you know, you don't have to put it all out there, but bring all of these beautiful aspects of who you are and show up as that very colorful, unique, strange, weird, quirky, kinky, query person. Because it's needed. It is needed. So yeah, showing up, being being a leader, there's a couple, I don't know, there's a consistent trend as well of showing up being a leader, being precise with your action. And wow, okay, so I feel whenever you are reprogramming your mind, you're reprogramming your embodiment and how you're showing up, especially if you've been showing up in a very scared, disempowered, false way. The reason the patience is necessary here and the planning is necessary here is to make sure and double down on the intention of your choices, and to make sure it's coming from the deep soul, innate, rooted, authentic, real place of you, or if you're still choosing from a light, not like a light, superficial, societal normie sort of place. So getting real with yourself on where you want to go, where you want to take this ship of life, where you want to drive this car, where you're going to shoot your arrow of action and focus, and then embody it with vigor, with drive, with sexual energy and potency. There's something like very fertile, very charged and enthusiastic about the way you're being asked to show up, and possibly the way that you actually are. Like, I'm seeing someone who's very vital and radiant and assertive, and just maybe there's a suppression of the sexual energy, which is your creative energy as well, but there's a lot of like hints of sexual energy and sexuality. So there's a need to like wear it out, be flamboyant with it, like, and not in like the typical way, in your own way. Be flamboyant and out there and expressive and unapologetic, enthusiastic. And also, I feel that there's something with you inspiring people by showing up in this way as well, like being a leader of your own right. And again, like maybe it's in this sexual realm, but to be this person, there's a lot of releasing and shedding and showing up differently and being triggered and upsetting people, and eventually you're not going to care, you're going to love it, which I feel all of your cards are fire, so it's like not caring as much, like in a responsible way, not being reckless, and maybe like you'll have to balance out by going in both extremes, from being like, oh my gosh, I care what people think, to I don't give a like, you know, and then eventually you balance out from just not giving a fuck to, okay, I can like gracefully not give a fuck, you know, and and be that person who is just a walking orgasmic experience, you know. I don't know, there's like a high sexual energy with this group that's like wanting to come out, highly creative, innovative, very, very unique, again, like kinky. And I feel like this word kink is being used in a broad sense, like it's not just in a sexual way, but you're just different. You're just different, and we need to be exposed to different things so that people can get used to these different ass things. You know, I'm getting the idea of the importance of triggering people, because if they are just attuned to the normal shit, how are they going to get used to the spectrums in which people can express themselves? So they need to be triggered. They need to see and be exposed to different things. It's like introducing a baby to different cuisines and different foods early on, so they're not that picky and difficult child to feed, you know. because some of them will not eat if they're picky. They will completely discriminate against all these different foods that they're missing out on, and they're also damaging their own life experience because they're choosing not to have a colorful experience. So it's important, like, to be this person who is showing people different ways of expression, different ways of career, of different unique ways of the workplace, different unique ways of kink, and maybe there's a product, I don't know. It's like strongly career, kink, sexuality, expression, creativity. I don't know what it is. It's so fascinating to me. Like, I don't know what this is, but I am super curious. But we need to expose society to these things. It's very important. It's very important. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. I feel that you have an idea of things. Like, it's like you're hiding something really good. It's like, I don't know. There's like this like energetic tease. Like, there's something you're sitting on. And I think there's some things in the works. There's some things that need to be shed before you can continue and go back on nurturing whatever you're trying to grow, whether these are, excuse me, whether these are gifts, talents, abilities, investments, ideas, like whatever this is. Like, there's something about it that's on pause. I don't know if you put it on pause or, you know, it bleeds back into this patient card where you're needing to sort of assess and come back to it, which is just life in general. And it's even more intensified when you're stepping out and becoming a brand, or you're wanting to share you're wanting to blend your joy and interests and beliefs and passions and values into a business or an offering to share to people. There's even more of an emphasis of this inner work and transformation and sharing yourself. So again, like, be aware of that and be patient with yourself with that and have fun. Yeah, there's something like slightly androgynous about him and very beautiful and soft. Like, he's a very soft masculine figure. So again, I don't know. There's something a little non-binary, a little like interesting and like needed. It's needed because it's so ahead of its time. There's something here. Okay, we're at 31 minutes. I'm just beating a dead I don't really like that phrase. I'm just beating the nail over and over again. You get the point. I think you get the point, group 2. Okay, that is your reading about what your dreams are trying to tell you, what your dreams are asking of you. I love this reading. It feels right. I don't know. I hope you got many, many things out of this. I do share a lot of things at once, so I definitely encourage people to go back, take notes, journal any insights that come up for you. Definitely do that. Comment, say hi, make yourself known. Let me know what you thought. Like, share, and subscribe for more. And I can't wait to see you again soon. What's up, group 3? This reading has been so fun. Like, I've been really enjoying myself. It came to me at 3 a.m. So, which sounds like a pain in the butt, but I've always admired, like, mystics and, like, spiritual people. I only follow a few, but they'll talk about, like, being woken up in the morning with these ideas and just being, like, struck by lightning with creative, like, inspiration. And, like, I really hope that happens to me more often, because that's just, I don't know, it's exciting and it feels good. I normally procrastinate on things like this, but yeah, I'm taking action. Wow, there's a lot of parallels with this group. It's beautiful. Okay, I don't use this deck often, so I want to just skim through this. If I see something to read, I'll read it out loud, but I normally just read it to myself in my head. So there will be some quiet, but I have background noise on, so just give me a second. I am comfortable in my own skin as I detach to replenish my soul. Interesting. Okay. That one was pretty self-explanatory. Okay. So what are your dreams trying to tell you? Oh, wow. I just feel very calm with this group. Very, very calm. There's a very strong Taurus energy here. So, very down to earth, very grounded group. I feel that you guys are super cozy just being alone, especially outside. And I feel that you guys have a lot of just natural gifts and abilities. And there's something very beautiful about your energy as well. We have Odin, your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. There's a need to share yourself, share what you have to offer with others, maybe even share your insights. I'm getting that this group is super talented and gifted with creating a sacred space for people, like a space where they feel comfortable at home, where they actually want to be. Strength card. Okay, let's continue. Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Yeah, every group has gotten this message of like, hey, stop hiding. It's time to share. This group though, like the other two, it was out of fear. This one, it's like, I'd rather not. I don't really like people. I like animals and trees. I prefer to be alone. There's ways, especially with Taurus. Taurus has a lot to do with the voice. We have a lot of blues here, and then insights. Truth comes out with this message from Odin. So the throat, Odin, I think, can sometimes be associated with lightning, which is like quick insights. So sharing with y'all through speaking, through expression. Maybe you have a great ear for music, growth. Growth is important. Okay, growth card, number 5. Number 5 is a number of discomfort, of change, of coming out of the comfort zone, which is so funny because Taurus does not like to be forced or persuaded. This energy is very much fine where they are. I do want to mention that there is a link for a birth chart calculator and underneath the timestamps. Excuse me, underneath the timestamps. So if you want to dive into your birth chart and you have your time of birth, which is phenomenal, some people don't. If you do, plug that baby in and you will get a very specific analysis of your birth chart. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube to explain it to you. I eventually want to do that. Queen of golly. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Yeah. All of these groups need to step up and share and lead. There is an ability to come out of poverty, come out of lack, and stretch yourself and expand yourself and your ideas and your beliefs through sharing your beautiful gifts. Through, specifically with this group, it's about, I feel like I was starting to say something and I don't know. I'm sure maybe it'll come back to me. I don't even remember what the birth chart. Yeah, I think I finished that thought. Sometimes I don't, and because I don't know. Anyway, so there is an ability to, I'm getting interior design, especially because there's this Venusian energy here. Something about candles and scents, potions, food, cultivating a sacred space. So possibly a retreat space, coming up with a retreat for women. A women's retreat that is just luxurious and beautiful. Yeah, I'm getting somebody with a Venus and Taurus placement in the 12th house, possibly a Venus in Taurus. I want to say the 10th house. A Venus in the 4th house, for sure. Venus in the 4th house, I'm getting strongly. But there is this stubbornness. The Uranus and Taurus transit is happening right now for the collective. There's many videos on it, so I won't really get too into that. But it's definitely two conflicting energies. The archetype of Uranus is very abrupt, erratic, chaotic, spontaneous, unorthodox, and Taurus is an archetype that can be very traditional, very ritualistic, habitual, doesn't really like to change up unless it decides to, which means it is in its control. But Uranus is not a planet or energy. Let's say energy. It's a planet, but it's not an archetype or an energy that you can control or really predict. It's unpredictable. So when these two energies collide, we're seeing a change in routine, in what we're comfortable with, and what we have habitually done, in the way in our old ways are being shaken up, ways we make money, ways we care for ourselves, ways that we eat could be changing, for the better or otherwise. So there is a way in which you are being challenged out of your stubbornness, because growth does not happen by staying in the same place. I also see you bringing people outside. So possibly like a camping retreat for women. Being outside is really important for you, and bringing people together outside. So your dreams, what are your dreams trying to tell you? Your dreams really want you to come out of hiding, come out of solitude. We know that that's where you're coziest. But like I was explaining with the collective energies, cozy no more. Sorry. I'm so stupid. Yeah, I feel that there has been some nudges, whether it's been in your dreams, in your goals, your desires. Maybe you're being challenged by your goals to show up differently, to share yourself more, to share of your energy more, to share of your dreams more. Your emotional fulfillment is being it's being selfishly hoarded. Is what I'm getting here. There is many cards of receiving recognition through your ability to be nurturing and be generous and be an inspirational figure through all the things that you're hoarding to yourself. Like, how do you care for yourself? How do you build a beautiful home? How do you cook your vegan home cooked style comfort foods? How are you hoarding your art for yourself? And maybe you're having and psychic nudges can come from outside as well, which is something I want to mention to this group. I didn't mention it with the other groups, but maybe you have friends who are like, dude, you should sell recipes. Like, whoa, girl, like, all of this art you're just hanging in your room and your house to like beautify your home, like, you should sell some of this stuff. And you're like, no, this is mine. Like, I don't want. Well, make prints. You can keep the original copies, but if you know, you're just going along with the traditional way of being, and you're feeling unfulfilled, it's because you're not sharing with everyone else. Fulfillment comes from, the sharing of those gifts. You're blessing other people with the things that you have to offer. Yes, it's good to keep to yourself, but there's something even more nourishing when you share of yourself in that way instead of hoarding it all to yourself, which is a very Taurian shadow. The shadow of Taurus can be just hoarding money, hoarding of the resources you don't want to share with anyone else, overindulging, being selfish with money, with your gifts, with things like that. So where are you doing that, and how are your dreams asking you to challenge yourself in showing up differently? So yes, you are someone who has so much to offer, very nurturing, very abundant. And there may be a way in which you can share and still be in solitude. So maybe this could be, because I mentioned the voice, starting a podcast, and maybe your voice is very soothing and nurturing. Maybe you've heard that before. So playing around with that modality, because you could be in your room speaking to people about how you got to the bag, how you have nurtured yourself in a loving way through an artistic practice, and that's how you end up in solitude for so long. Maybe you're like that artist that's like, this is my drug. Making art is my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my best friend. This is what I like to do, There's something about the way that you move throughout your day. Maybe there's like a ritual. You have an artistic practice, or a way that you decorate your home or something like that. The way that you cook, again, like these Taurian things. The way that you care for yourself, so your self-care practices that can be very inspirational for people, that can uplift people, that will be very nurturing, and there's something relatable about your energy as well that would make you somebody who is very recognizable, that will get and receive recognition, because there's something very beautiful and creative that you can bring through sharing yourself. So I even see somebody who steps out into the public and they make the most beautiful videos with like beautiful like chill music in the background, or even like your podcast, something about it is really cozy and it makes people feel like they're like in the space with you and they're talking to a friend. Like, there's something that you can share. You'll know better than I do that you can bring this Taurus energy to. You can bring this Venusian beauty, coziness, warmth, nurturing, artistic, earthy, grounded, down-to-earthness too. Maybe you're doing vlogs and you're sharing trails with people, or you're some kind of forager. I don't know why that's coming to mind. Something with the earth, something with maybe environmentalist type thing, like showing people how to be more sustainable in the home, sustainable interior design, eco-friendly feng shui. I'm just throwing out ideas right now. Maybe you have a gardening channel, or yeah, there's so many different ideas coming to mind. Like, there's Taurus, Queen of Pentacles, and then we have Leo energy here. There's like a lot of different things that you can do, which again, like, is another way in which you're very abundant. You're abundant in your gifts, and you're very aware that you're very gifted, and you have a lot to offer. And that's beyond finances, but just your knowledge and your abilities, your values, your energy. Your energy is fully abundant, you know? So yeah, your dreams really want you to share them. Or I guess your gifts, it would be more gifts. I don't know. Can dreams and gifts be synonymous? Anyway, the fulfillment that you could be more fulfilled than you already are through sharing the overflowing abundance that you have, the beauty that you can gift other people, because Lord knows we need more beauty in this world. We can never have enough, especially with the shit going on. And I say that like I'm keen to what's going on. I'm really not, but I hear enough from other people, and there's plenty of people who keep up with the news and shit that I don't really need to keep up with it. So anyways, beauty, share the beauty that you can bring to this world. Maybe some of you may be having dreams, because Taurus has a lot to do with empire and generational wealth. You may be having actual dreams about building a business, or how you can build a business, or a business plan, whether it's night dreams or daydreams. Like, some of you are being gifted this adding this addition to an empire, or this idea of this empire that you can build that will be beneficial to if not your generation of kids, if you don't have kids, then just the generation of kids that aren't yours. Yeah, because we have growth, and I'm just noticing that she's on top of the world, and her roots are grounding into it could be a moon, but it looks kind of like the earth. I think it's the moon, actually, but yeah, I think it's the moon, but it looks a lot like the earth. But there is a combination of the earth, the maternal energy, and the roots growing from this woman coming down. and time. She's holding a clock. So there's something that some of you may be dreaming about that will last throughout time. Like it'll be something that can possibly be timeless, that is always relevant. I'm getting someone who can build like a very beautiful altar space. Or the home, like you're something about the home being an entire altar to tap into creativity, to tap into source, to tap into the divine. And that's how you cultivate a space where you can always be quenched be quenched and nurtured by the muse, by creativity. So I don't know, that was a very specific example. Creating an altar space out of your entire home through the way that you decorate it, the foods that you bring into it and cook in it, the scents that you burn, and how you nurture your home. That's really beautiful. Yeah, there's something about you and the way that you value yourself, because this Taurus energy is very strong here. There's something about you being able to assist people and coming out of a poverty mindset, whether it's lack of self-confidence or in general with money. Some of you have a gift with being able to do that. Like your dreams are pointing you towards that direction of assisting people and breaking down their poverty mindset. This group has a lot to offer. It's really cool. Yeah, there's something very balanced about this energy that can just calm people. You can really calm even like... You can tame even the wildest of beasts. And I get that in a metaphorical way. Like people's egos, you can like really put them in check. Because I am very familiar with Taurus energy. My brother and my dad have very strong Taurus energy, and they will check the fuck out of you. It's just like blunt. It's just like very concise, very grounded, practical, very just like, and they're never really wrong. I mean, if they're balanced, they just have just this very down to earth, like very to the point way of just letting you know what the fuck is going on. Leo can be that way too. With the Strength card here, we have some Leo energy. Yeah, I'm seeing like an Aquarius placement, but I don't see Aquarius being in the Sun, Moon, Rising placement. But I'm seeing strong Leo and Taurus energy here, and a little bit of Virgo. Really, all of the fixed signs, because I want to say Scorpio too. So fixed signs are Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo. Some heavy hitters. Okay. That is your reading, group 3. Oh my gosh, this reading was so nourishing for whatever reason. Maybe it's just your group, because I have been having a blast today. But yeah, there's something really nourishing about this group. Like you're like some kind of tonic for people. Maybe you, again, like the elixirs are coming up for some of you. let me know down below, like, what came up for y'all. Definitely take notes with these readings, because I know when I watch these, like, my own ideas come to mind that have been, like, triggered from watching a reading. So take notes, especially if you're getting a ton of ideas, you know, that's really important. I'd recommend with this reading, especially because we're talking about dreams and a nighttime, daytime, and goals sort of sphere. So in a broad sense of the word dreams. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. I had such a good time with y'all. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Say hi, and like, share, and subscribe for more. I have all of my socials and offerings as well in the description box if you want to check it out. And I will see you again soon.